Let's get a peek at the racetrack defense for the Atlanta Braves. Yaz out in left, Harris in center, Acuna in right, and a switch up on the infield. For the first time this year, Ozzie Albies is not at second base. It is Mauricio Dubon making his first start as a Brave at that position.
The value of being able to move Mauricio Dubon all around the diamond and in the outfield now that we have seen is incredible to have. But what I kind of like about this is all the jawing that goes back and forth between Matt Olson and Ozzie Albies. This is the first game that Ozzie hasn't played. Of course, Matt has played in all of them, and so now he's got that over Ozzie as well, and wondering, man, why do you need a day off? Like, be out here every day like me.
Walt Weiss joked before the game that he was trying to convince Ozzie several times earlier in the year to take a day off, and Ozzie said no. He finally convinced him to take one tonight.
He's had a couple tough foul balls right off his lower body. Probably a perfect time for it.
Temperatures in the mid-80s, and we are ready for baseball on this Thursday evening. It starts with a strike. Our home plate umpire Adam Hammery giving that call 0-1.
He's been pretty good, top kind of quarter among MLB umpires this year. That side of the plate, especially the lefties, is the one area where he'll get a little bit generous, which is great for Martin.
And we know how crafty Martin Perez is. And he gets ahead of Lopez 0-2. Soft grounder to short. That at bat was a Martin Perez special right there.
It certainly was. Get ahead, expand a little bit with the changeup, and get some weak contact.
That start last Saturday against the Nationals for Perez, so special. Most of you know the story of him getting the notice about 45 minutes prior to first pitch with Reynaldo Lopez being scratched with knee soreness. And Perez goes out, pitches 7 innings, 6 2/3 of those without a hit. Longest no-hit bid of his career. And he also got the 98th victory of his career.
It's an incredible line to look at right there for Martin. He was awesome.
Just 78 pitches, so efficient.
And you bring up Reynaldo Lopez, who was already out playing catch today. So really encouraging news there. And I think a lot of folks believing that there's a good chance it'll only be the 15 days. Nobody has said that officially, but that may happen for Reynaldo.
Yeah, kind of got that news before the game. That's the first we had heard as far as an update on Lopez. So certainly good news for Atlanta. Two-one here to Heriberto Hernandez, who has a reputation of hitting lefties well. That's why he's batting second tonight.
He's been good against them this year. .932 is the OPS for Hernandez against the lefties. Walk rate up above 10% as well.
3-2. Swing and miss at the two-seamer. And Perez puts him down with another two-seam fastball.
So in my mind, I went through 3 different scenarios of what I thought Martin was going to do. It wasn't one of these, and that's what he can do to you. There's so many different weapons. He goes with the front door two-seamer. I wondered, two-seamer again, maybe change up away. Would he try to backdoor the cutter? No, he went front door two-seamer instead.
Turns out to be a good decision. 9 pitches, 2 outs, and now Agustin Ramirez.
You mentioned Hernandez being good against lefties. For Ramirez, it is a stark contrast when you look left versus right. Sitting .303 against the lefties, .956 on the OPS compared to just .193 against righties.
And it was similar last year when he had a very good rookie campaign. Remember last year it was the 2 guys right around home plate Ramirez and Baldwin, who finished 1-2 in homers and runs driven in amongst National League rookies. Swinging 3-0.
And that's the value of being able to throw that cutter 3-0 with some confidence, right? You're gearing up for a fastball in that spot. You see it, and there's a little bit of late movement just to get it off the barrel.
Softly right back where it came from. And Perez with a 1-2-3 top of the first. Bravos coming up. Series, we mentioned he's playing second. He is batting fifth here against Jansen Junk, the 30-year-old righty.
And for a guy who has not gotten particularly deep in games, you can see the record there, 5-6, mid-4 ERA. The Braves saw him earlier this year and tagged him for 8 runs over 5 innings.
Yeah, that was on May 20th. 3-run homers in that game by Riley and Dom Smith. So hopefully more of that tonight against Jansen Junk.
He's more of a contact guy, low strikeout percentage of just 18%, but he does fill up the zone. Very good walk rate.
And he's in the zone to start here against Drake Baldwin. On 2 bounces to Edwards, 1 down. Rest of the defense for Clayton McCullough's Miami Marlins. Hernandez Ruiz, his first start of the series out at center. A lot of speed with Ruiz. And there's the infield, and our first look at Navarreto as the catcher. Longtime veteran, but most of his time in the minor leagues, but he gets to start here tonight.
And he is a perfect 4 for 4 in ABS challenges so far this year. What does that sound?
That was thunder, and a little thunder off the bat of Acuna, but sends it way high in the sky towards Hernandez.
Felt like the wind may knock that ball down as you take a look now here. First from Ronald as he got a 4-seam fastball, 92 miles an hour, and the frustration of not hammering that baseball because it was up and looked like a pitch that he could probably handle. So a little frustration here from Ronald. That ball just kind of kept dying and dying, and then looked up at the flag, and sure enough, it looks like it is blowing in from left.
Yeah, scattered storms in the area, so the wind might pick up occasionally here this evening. So at least at the moment, if you're going to get it out to left, you're going to have to cut it through that breeze. Nice crowd for game number 115 of the season. Olsen 2 for 7 with a double in the series.
So even though it's not an overpowering fastball that we have seen here, 92, 93, sits around 94. It is the pitch for Junk where he has registered most of his strikeouts. A little bit surprising, right? You think it would have been something else, maybe that sweeper in there, but no, it has been mostly the fastball.
And you were kind of hitting on it, CJ, but just kind of going through his stuff and the numbers. He doesn't really have a dominant pitch.
No. Nope, nothing in there where there's a batting average that kind of jumps off the page a little bit, or a whiff rate that really jumps off the page either. When it comes to swing and misses, changeup has been the best at 29%. But again, not necessarily anything that is catching your attention in a big way. That's actually even a little bit below league average.
It's the 16th start of the year for the right-hander as he deals a 3-2 to Olsen.
I do feel like this is where the advantage would come. There are some pretty distinct splits that you get here from Jansen Junk. It's 300 points on the OPS in favor of the lefties, where they're batting better than I should say exactly 318 against him.
Seventh pitch of the at-bat is crushed off the brick, and it gets past Sanoa. Otherwise, there might have been a play at second base, but instead it's a stand-up double for Matty O.
And right on time for a lefty to smoke a baseball, and it is against the 4-seam fastball. 93 on the way in, 106 on the way out, and it caught that brick wall flush. If Matty gets a little more lift, this thing is out of here easily. Good looking swing there from the side, and then Sanoa, not a big guy, and that ball went up and over him, and it made it easier for Matt Olson to pull up for that double.
Yeah, 5'7" out there. If he was 5'9", might have had it. So runner in scoring position for Harris. And that one bounces right to Edwards. So a double, but no runs through an inning. It's time for the GMC Field Report, starring Wiley Ballard.
Well, we talk all the time about how Martin Perez loves to live on the edges of the strike zone. But guys, it's not just that he throws his pitches on the edges. Hitters don't swing against them. This is the lowest swing percentage against on pitches on the edge of the strike zone among all National League starters. And you can see right there at 46%. And when I was talking to Joey Bart about this, who's caught Martin before and obviously moved on from the organization, the trade deadline, but he mentioned that everything he throws is ball to strike. So it's not even so much that it's moving from the center of the strike zone out, but hitters are giving up on these pitches, and that's one way to get a called strike.
And he does it really well, and really as good as anybody, because he puts the baseball where he wants, but it is a ball most of the way. He did a nice job to finish that last inning against Ramirez, where it went the other way. Whereas a 3-1 count, that pitch looked like it was a strike the entire way, finished just outside the zone, and gets weak contact. When he goes the other way, a lot of times he's getting called strikes.
This one is going to go foul. And you saw who else was on that list. New addition Tyler Mahle, and Mahle will get the start tomorrow in the Bronx opposite Max Fried.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Originally thought it was going to be Chris Sale. Walt Weiss said, you know what, anytime we can find that extra day for Chris Sale, we give it to him. And so instead of Sale Fried, which would have been great, we're going to get Sale and then Garrett Cole, which will also be a really good matchup. But that is a tall task, and Walt knows it too, for Tyler Mahle tomorrow.
And what a place to make your Braves debut.
Assuming he'll get a little bit of an earlier flight out of here.
He's already up there.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, with the team chartering up there after the game, they wanted Mahle to get up there, be rested, be fresh. So already up in the city that never sleeps, hopefully getting some sleep. A full count here to Xavier Edwards. Edwards hit a leadoff homer when he faced Perez in Miami on May 19th. Now the Braves would go on to win that game, but Edwards did tag him for a solo shot. A little up. And there's the first base runner for Miami.
Almost looked like Martin overthrew this one a little bit, which you don't see very often. And after getting Lopez out, the first batter of the game on 3 pitches, the 3 straight now have been 3-ball counts. Trying to get this ball inside and end up being kind of up and away, up over the plate away.
And missing to Jimenez. Riley to second for 1. On at first. 5, 4, 3. Double play. And Dubon, who has not played second base all year, turns it with ease.
A little something behind the throw here as well from Mauricio Dubon. Now this is going to be the changeup from Martin Perez. And I got to believe infielders love playing behind Martin Perez because you're going to get a lot of ground balls. He's going to keep you engaged by filling up the strike zone, keeping the baseball on the ground, all those things that infielders want. And when they're sharp and they're engaged, they're going to play great defense behind you.
And Dubon has played there plenty in his career, just not this season, but he had 37 starts at second last year for the Houston Astros. It's just weird to see Ozzie in the dugout when the team's out in the field.
No doubt, no doubt. And you know he hates it and he's miserable, but this is Walton. What he said at the very beginning when he got the job was trying to find off days for guys and get them built in and thinking about the big picture. So we've seen him starting center, starting left. Has he started in right at all, Mauricio?
No, he has not.
So
and
it's
then
been third, short, and second. So 5 positions in which he has started at least one game. And he is down 25 cents because he squared yesterday on the postgame show.
Change-up and a good one to strike out Stowers.
And doing it with a change-up and getting him to go below the zone, left on left. Martin Perez looking locked in here tonight.
Bottom of the second inning, it'll be the Braves' second baseman leading off. No, not Ozzie Albies, Mauricio Dubon. And as Brandon and CJ were discussing a half inning ago, Ozzie getting a day off today, and Mauricio wasted no time.
Sends it out to right field. He's going to try for 2. This might be trouble. Got a little greedy, and he is out at second base. I don't think they're going to review this unless he somehow avoided the tag, and he did not. Go ahead, Wiley.
Yeah, and a big reason Wall felt comfortable doing this now was given the way the roster is constructed. You got a guy like Mauricio Dubon, who's been one of the better and most consistent offensive players for Atlanta. I think that sell to Ozzie was, hey, we got to get Mauricio back in here, and Ozzie obviously recognizing what a big role Dubon has played. So I think that's one of the reasons you guys joked about how Walt said he won the battle against Ozzie, forcing an off day. I think that was a big reason why. Not to mention also some late night travel, and Walt said that didn't hurt Ozzie either.
Yeah, I think it all works out perfectly. Again, the foul balls that we have seen as well, and thinking, is there a good day? This seemed like a really good day to get Ozzie that breather. It doesn't mean a full day off either, right? You'll try to get him that day off. You hope that the game dictates that he can get a full day off and just kind of relax and enjoy the game. And sometimes it's good for the brain. We know Matt Olson obviously doesn't do it, but everybody else is going to miss a game here and there. And there's some value into just watching a baseball game from the bench.
Few flashes of lightning. The skies are starting to darken, and the telltale sign is when the grounds crew is hovering over by their exit to go get the tarp, and they are there. So we'll see what happens.
So we have a great view of those clouds. It's just a matter of them staying away from us would be nice. Now the flags are going the other way, not heavily, but we're blowing in. Now they're blowing out to left.
Well, we've kind of been flirting with it, which you usually do this time of year in Atlanta. There's been a lot of rain the last 2 days. It just hasn't been in the evening. But it's around us right now. Yes, pops the 2-2 towards Jimenez. So these next 2 hitters both hit 3-run homers off of Jansen Junk back in May in that game in Miami. And I mentioned for Junk's 16th start of the season, that's because he missed some time with right shin inflammation. It wasn't anything that happened, just over time he started to experience some pain while he was pushing off the mound with that right leg, and it was building up in his shin. So he was out from late May until July 9th, and now he's been back for about the last month.
I don't know if I've heard of that one before. Shin inflammation, and say it slow.
Be careful. Don't pull a Mauricio Dubon.
So I've forgotten about that home run in particular. It was a 12 pitch at bat for Dom Smith in the 6th inning when he hit that 3-run home run. So he saw a lot of pitches and eventually got a curveball that he could handle.
Now his 5th start since coming off the IL for Junk. Here's the homer.
Yeah, let's take it back to pitch number 12 when we were down in Miami, and that curveball, not a big breaker, kind of sitting inner third that Dom just squeezed out of here, but they all count the same.
This time the other way. And Dom is going to go for second. And they got him. Dubon and Dom Smith both out at second, trying to stretch a single into a double. I don't know that I've ever seen that twice in the same half inning.
Yeah, I don't think so. You can also see a little bit of rain now starting to fall here, and the Braves are not going to challenge this. And Dom was feeling pretty good about himself, but not quite enough time to get there in front of the tag. Time now for our Comcast Business Defend the Mound, and Martin Perez did it pretty well in his last start. You mentioned the efficiency, 11.1 pitches per inning in that start, 4th best of his career in any start, and we're talking about a guy who was knocking on the door of 300 career starts, and 27 pitches in those first 2 innings, and he just absolutely rolled after that.
Yeah, career start 297 here this evening. Through the light raindrops and into the glove of Dubon off the bat of Sanoa.
By the way, I misread that line. The 27 pitches tonight. That was not last start.
So far, just a walk against Perez. Ruiz getting the start here. Game 3 of the series out in center field. Former A. He's a speedster, and he was one of the pieces in that Sean Murphy trade after the 2022 season. That was the 3-team trade between the Braves, the A's, and the Brewers. And fans may remember that 23 season. He was the only one that really challenged Ronald Acuna Jr. for the stolen base title. Acuna stole 73 bases that year in his MVP season, and Ruiz led the American League with 67.
He absolutely flies. This is a guy you want to keep off the bases. He's not getting that regular playing time here in Miami, but when he gets out there, or if he's pinch running, look out.
And Perez will keep him off the bases with a little slice of frozen pizza here in the 3rd.
He's gotten so good at this. It really has been throughout his entire career, but still finding ways to lock hitters up. Front door, 2-seam fastball for Martin Perez, and doing a little research today and taking a look at, how good is he at that? Well, actually, if you look at all active starting pitchers, he has got the highest percentage of strikeouts looking. Now, he's not known as a strikeout pitcher, but the percentage of those strikeouts looking are the highest in the game. That's among pitchers with at least 200 starts.
And I know throwing 100, that's the sexy thing to do, but I would think for a pitcher, that's a stat that you probably take a lot of pride in.
Yep, I would agree.
And he takes pride in 1, 2, 3 innings. He's got another one. Still a light rain shower here, but on we go to the bottom of the 3rd with our Old Spice fresh stats. Austin Riley. So looking at his last 36, breaking it down 18 and 18, big time improvement.
Yeah, certainly. And that is basically post All-Star break and then leading into the All-Star break. And it's a nice number right down the middle. The big one is that exit velocity. Yes, it's very nice to see the high OPS, but it is not dressed up. He is crushing the baseball. You heard Wiley talking about it earlier. 2nd highest exit velo in baseball post All-Star break here so far for Austin Riley.
And a great series, 4 for 7 with a homer, a double, and 3 driven in.
I will say during that time the strikeout rate is still pretty high, around 40%. The walk rate is low, but you can live with that if you're getting those kind of results. I'll take a near 900 OPS all day long, even if there's a lot of strikeouts that come along with it.
off the end of the bat. Stowers in foul ground, can't find it. He does at the last second.
Well, those dark clouds definitely came right over the ballpark and changed how things have looked here, but a little bit surprised. I guess it's still kind of a dust sky, even though it's really cloudy. It's a really panicky feeling right there for Kyle Stowers.
Bottom of the order, and Jim Jarvis.
We wanted those clouds to go in a different direction. They didn't, but at least so far, not like a real heavy rain that was in those clouds. I don't know what's going on back there, like behind the Henry and over there. We could see.
I just feel like we're hanging on for dear life right now. You can feel the wind swirling.
Yeah.
You're seeing the lightning. You're hearing the thunder.
I'm just trying to sell it right now. That we've gotten lucky. It absolutely came right at us. It did not go around us like we were hoping, but not wet yet. We did see the dreaded conversation between the grounds crew and the umpire and crew. We hate those conversations.
Yeah, when they bring the phone out, show the radar, talk it over. So Jansen Junk from 3-0 to 3-2 here as he faces the Braves shortstop.
Yeah, like, I know you probably can't see this on TV. That thing right there in the middle just looks like it's streaming, right? Whatever that is.
Yeah, it's beyond the center field wall. It is raining.
But it's like almost like narrow. Yeah, like right there to the right where Truist Park is, that kind of column.
Yeah, you can tell.
That looks like it's got something behind it. Uh-oh. Yeah. We got a little water on our camera lens.
Another payoff pitch fouled away by Jarvis. Day off yesterday for Jarvis. He was 0 for 3 on Tuesday in game 1 of the series. And he strikes out going after an elevated fastball. Quick message from Zaxby's.
Think chicken bacon ranch is all the same? This is Zaxby's. Think again. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.
Those folks are ready.
Oh, that's a great hat. Bucket hat that guy had on.
Pickleball legend.
Yeah. Self-appointed, probably.
Yes, I would think so. Baldwin almost hit Junk with that liner back up the middle. And he's got a single. He's 1 for 2.
He stays on this breaking ball nice. It's down and maybe even below the zone. Some depth to the Jansen Junk curveball, but not enough for Drake Baldwin. Perfect approach.
Take a look at our Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature. So Braves history best OPS against any one opponent, and Ronald Acuna Jr. against the Marlins has been tremendous. When you're up there with Hank and Chipper, yeah, that's pretty good.
Really special. We are talking about some major history here in Atlanta, and I think for Ronald, a little bit of frustration in that last at bat that he would like to take out now here on Jansen Junk and continue to add on to that OPS.
Yeah, for Chipper, Gretsch just made a good point. You'd think it would be the Mets and how he owned them, but it's actually the Phillies he had the better career OPS against. Acuna puts it high in the sky, deep to left center. They collided and knocked it over the wall. Ronald, it's a homer. Circle the bases.
It looked like Hernandez was calling for this baseball and that he had a beat on it. Let's take a look exactly what had happened. You're going to see this sweeper, and it's kind of sitting in the middle of the plate. Ronald wasn't quite sure. Here comes Ruiz, and a nice little assist from both of those guys as they toss it over the wall. Ronald didn't know where the baseball went. He thought one of them caught it.
You want to talk about things you never see? Folks of our generation will remember Jose Canseco taking one off his head and it going over the wall, but two outfielders colliding and knocking it over the fence for a two-run homer. What an oddity.
Yeah, we mentioned that you don't see a lot of Ruiz in the outfield, right? He's not their regular guy. It's 32 starts on the season, and so when you're moving guys around, sometimes the communication is not going to be strong. And even though out in left field Hernandez might have been calling for it, if Ruiz comes in and he wants it, you got to get out of the way. You think that was Ruiz's glove it hit?
I thought it was Hernandez. Boy, what a bad feeling it must be for those two guys. Instead of catching that at the wall, it's 2-0 Atlanta.
That's a long way to go for Ruiz. Hernandez had a little bit more of a beat on him. You can see his hand go up. I don't know whose glove that hit. What do you think?
I thought it was Hernandez. And now Matt Olson's going to walk. Let's see if we can tell here.
Glove is out. Here comes Ruiz. They're going to jump together, and
it's kind of both of them.
Yeah.
I think it hit Hernandez's glove first, and then Ruiz's glove kind of pushed it out and over the wall.
I mean, watching them look around is fantastic. Like, where's my ball? You guys see my baseball? Because I know I just had it. Like, I felt it hit my glove, and it was below the wall. So certainly it's got to be on the field somewhere, right?
Wow.
So I saw Joe Adele do that in Texas a few years ago when he was really struggling. Remember, and he had a couple happen to him in a game out in Anaheim as well. All right, who's the culprit? I mean, listen, they're both. You're right. I mean, they're both there. Maybe Ruiz. It's not the kind of assist you want to get in a game like this. And then a little brotherly love as well at the end.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. In all seriousness, someone could have gotten hurt. Thankfully, that did not happen.
That's incredible. It's amazing that that went down like that.
Gosh. You were saying about Joe Adele.
So same thing, he had going back on the ball, but he was probably a good 10 feet from the wall. Reached up, made his glove ejecto mitt, and it pretty much he threw it over the wall. But yeah, nobody more infamous than the Jose Canseco play.
Yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about, that's one to YouTube.
He just flat out missed it, caught him square in the noggin.
Bounced right over the fence. Folks are heading for some shelter as the rain has picked up a little bit here. The wind has as well. There's also water on my laptop, so I would like to call 911 if I may real quick. Val, do we have any napkins?
They're bringing in a little bit, and we could probably even lower the shade, even keeps the rain out.
Yeah.
Although, did we mess up last time we did that? Because then it got real windy and it got weird.
It did. They're going to go the short route, and they do get Matt Olson. But one of the strangest plays you'll see all year gives the Braves a 2-0 lead.
So Ronald was looking for some revenge. He probably thought he just missed it, but a little bit of help from some friends here with the Marlins make this a 2-run home run for Ronald Acuna Jr. Braves up 2.
Baseball is brought to you by Chevrolet, proud partner.
Hour and 20. I was like, I don't doubt that he's making his case, but I think short what happened last time with a late notice that they decided, nah, we need you. It's too important.
Yeah, right now it's an hour and 24-minute delay and counting. Those first 3 innings just flew by, and then 7:57 the skies opened up and the tarp came on the field.
Tell you what, good amount of these folks stuck around here on a Thursday night. That is always encouraging to see.
Yeah, it was a sellout, and you're right. For the amount of rain that fell and for it being a weeknight, kudos to Braves country here for sticking it out. Otto Lopez, top of the order for the Marlins as we resume play here at 9:21 Eastern. And Kinley gets a friendly call from Adam Hamry, the home plate umpire. Lopez grounded out to start the game back in the first.
So I wonder here what maybe the game plan is. Obviously right now with the Braves leading by a couple, where they go kind of one inning at a time, if they can open it up a little bit more. You know that Brent Suter now is kind of the multi-inning guy, but you also got Victor Medeiros down there as well.
Lazy fly ball in the direction of Harris. Kind of redirected at the last second, makes the catch.
And the other part of this that we have seen it before when it has happened to the Atlanta Braves is Martin Perez starts tonight for the Braves. Left-handed starter. The Marlins play matchups pretty decent amount, right? So they have their lineup in there for a left-handed pitcher. Maybe that's why you throw a guy like Kinley, gets go to the righties early on, why they still have that left-handed lineup in there. Maybe force them to use some pinch hitters, and then you go to a Brent Suter.
Braves trying to sweep the Marlins here, and the Braves also trying to make it 8 wins in a row. Still seeing a fair amount of lightning out beyond the center field wall, but hopefully that won't come this direction.
What I want to say is that it looks like it's getting further away, but if I said that, I'd be lying.
It's just hard to tell at this point. One ball, one strike to Heriberto Hernandez. You're talking about the matchups we mentioned when Hernandez was up there in the first inning. The reason he was hitting second tonight is because he hits lefties so well, does not have as much success against right-handed pitching. Soft liner to Riley.
That's kind of a tough spot for Clayton McCullough again because they play the matchup so much. You know, what do? Do you go ahead and get your left-handed hitters now, knowing that the Braves have 4 left-handed relievers, and then you're in a pinch? You won't be able to pinch hit late.
There's a splits for Kinley this year. A couple people had asked, with the weather delay, would the Braves change their travel plans? They will not. Whenever this game will end, regardless of the time, will go straight to the airport, go on, get up to New York. It'll be late, but get some sleep and be ready for tomorrow night in the series opener.
I wonder if this is something new we're going to see here with Tyler Kinley. He has only thrown 3 two-seam fastballs all season long, and he used one right there beautifully at the very bottom of the zone.
Left field line. This one is going to drop in. An 0-2 slider, and Ramirez gets a single out of it.
Well, he did not hit this hard. It's going to be off the end of the bat. We know that the Tyler Kinley slider usually goes straight down, right? There's not a lot of side-to-side movement on it. And the end of the bat turning it into a single.
Now, the only man who reached against Martin Perez in his 3 innings, this guy, Xavier Edwards, he walked in the second. Well, the no-hitter is gone after the Ramirez single. Line drive to right, but this one foul.
Ooh, nice play. Not an easy one.
No. Tough angle off the net.
A quiet confidence to that young man down there. Yeah, of course I caught it. That's what I do.
And Edwards out in front on that curveball.
Now, the curveball's been sneaky good. As much as we'll talk about the slider, the good whiff rate, the curveball is not far behind it at all. It's actually got a lower batting average and lower OPS against it.
All about the breaking stuff here. 2 sliders, then 2 curveballs in this at bat from Kinley. Danny Young, lefty, getting ready now. And Zuber on the other side. He's going to enter the game in the bottom of this inning for the Marlins. Line drive to Dubon. Marlins get their first hit, but no runs. Bottom 4, 2-0 Bravos. Told you about this yesterday, but through August 9th, it's only a couple more days here. Time for the Braves.TV double play flash sale. 2 months of Braves.TV plus 2 free tickets to any remaining home game here for just $19.99. So lock it in now at Braves.TV.
That money goes straight to me and PG and Wiley. We split it evenly.
Yep.
So what's that, like 6 and change a piece? Like $6.60, something like that.
So help us out.
Yeah,
please.
Get a big cup of coffee for that.
Tyler Zuber, 2nd season with the Fish for this right-hander.
4-seam fastball at 95, sweeper, 2-seamer, and slider all in the mix. 14 punch-outs so far this year. It's only been limited time, 13 innings, but he has not walked a hitter yet.
He has bounced around, 4th team over parts of 5 big league seasons for Tyler Zuber. Dubon singled in the 2nd, then he got thrown out trying to stretch that single into a double.
Yeah, we had wondered, right? It happened twice in the same inning. Dom Smith, the same thing. 4th time this year in the same inning that a team has gotten a batter thrown out. There's that first walk.
You spoke it into existence.
We get no credit for the reverse jinx. We only get the criticism when we say something and then something bad happens.
Well, that's happened 4 times this year.
Yeah, not to the Braves.
Right.
4
But
times in Major League Baseball, where basically there was a base hit and the runner was thrown out trying to advance, twice in the same inning. Ernie Clement and Okamoto with the Blue Jays were the last ones to do it.
Yaz takes a strike. Back-to-back 95-mile-per-hour heaters. Check down. Ooh. And Clint Vondrak punching out Yastrzemski. Yaz can't believe it.
You watch it live, and from our view up top, it did not look like he went. Let's take a look at it from the side and a little bit slower, and I think that barrel might have came around. It was quick.
So a frustrated Yastrzemski back to the dugout. And here's the other guy who got thrown out trying to stretch the single into a double in the 2nd inning, Dom Smith. Let's get a word in here from our friends at Delta.
From Braves country to the world. Delta, official airline of the Atlanta Braves.
Dom Smith checking with Adam Hamry.
It's close, but it looked like it did catch the very bottom of the strike, so that's a good backdoor sweeper. First pitch to a lefty.
Dubon it well. And he gets a stolen base, and he's going to take third as well.
That's the thing of beauty right there for Mauricio Dubon. You mentioned that the jump was huge. They were not going to throw him out at all. Short lead, but big jump, and the feet are moving the entire way, and then recognizes the ball is in the outfield, hopping up. As this throw, not only was it short, but really to the wrong side of second base as well. Not a good throw at all there.
So a stolen base and then an error on the advancement to third, and a chance for the Braves to add on another run as the infield comes in here.
Well, not a lot of time for Navarreto there behind home plate for the Miami Marlins, but that was an ill-advised throw.
And for Dubon, 6 stolen bases. His career high is 7 a few years ago, so he's already 1 away. Hitters count for Dom Smith. Runner cannot go anywhere. Stowers makes the play. 2 down. Austin Riley, 3 RBI in the series. Let's see if he can make it 4.
Ooh.
Fastball consistently sitting at 95 for number 55, Tyler Zuber.
And what Wiley talked about with Austin, we heard that sound before the game, is the idea of trying to keep that barrel in the zone as long as possible. And the way Austin Riley described it, chance at a few more kind of weak hits even when you get beat. And I think the foul ball previously is kind of a good example of that, right? It got on him quick, it's up in the zone, but if you can keep it flat, keep it there longer, you have a fighting chance.
No question about that one. And Riley frustrated. Runner stranded at third, still 2-0. As we go to the 5th, we want to congratulate John Holland, who was the longtime visiting clubhouse manager here in Atlanta, and he is being inducted into the Clubhouse Managers Hall of Fame.
You love to see it all those years on the visiting side. So for players that were fortunate to play the game for a long time, you come through to Atlanta, it was always the same man in John Holland who was running the other side. Excellent, obviously, at what he did based on the fact that he's going into the Hall of Fame. But there's really good relationships to be built over the years for players, not just with your home clubhouse managers and everybody involved, but also on the visiting side. John, definitely one of those guys. Congratulations. Well deserved.
Absolutely.
Players know, they'll talk about good clubbies, bad clubbies. What are the better clubhouses in Atlanta? Always a good one here to come through as a visitor.
And that continues now with Fred Stone down there, who does tremendous work. And the Braves hoping to get tremendous work here from Victor Medeiros, who takes over in the 5th inning.
Another guy, if Walt decides to do it this way, could be multi-inning, but he has been really good, and he took advantage of the opportunity. We saw all the guys that were kind of coming up as the last man in the bullpen. He delivered, and now he has a little bit more now of an elevated role in this pen.
And Martin Perez, things were going so good through 3 before the rain shortened his evening.
We didn't think we'd see both of those guys sitting next to each other in the 4th inning. If you told me that last night, the Braves would be winning and they'd be sitting next to each other.
Ozzie, if you weren't with us earlier, it's the first time that Ozzie Albies has not started this year. Walt Weiss finally giving him a day off.
He really doesn't want you to see what he's talking about, BG.
A leadoff walk for Leo Jimenez. Well, Braves pitching has held the Marlins to just 12 hits in 22 innings this series, but now a couple of walks mixed in there today. Stowers, very capable hitter at the plate.
And there has not been a lot of plate appearances against Victor Medeiros from the left side, but the lefties are 3 for 9, so elevates that batting average a little bit. But again, it's only, take that back, I'm sorry, 9 for 27.
Michael Harris back about 20 feet.
Which, if you divide by 3, would be 3 for 9.
I let you do the math.
What I was looking at down there.
Javier Sanoja gets Let It Snow by Matthew Kaminsky. We were talking about Sanoja and him being 5'7" and right around 150 pounds, and from Venezuela, so he grew up idolizing, as you might expect, Jose Altuve. Both undersized, both were guys from Venezuela that were small and doubted, not much belief in them as prospects, but certainly Altuve's turned in a heck of a career, and Sanoja now just at 23 trying to follow in his footsteps.
And plays with a little bit of confidence, not afraid to take the big swings. We've seen it from him. Not sure if that's the smartest part of his game, but he'll get a little pull happy if you hang him something.
Reaches out to hit this shallow into the grass. Dubon has it.
Got our first pinch hitter now. I'm going to start bringing out some of these lefties.
Here we go. Get your pencil ready if you're keeping score with us at home. Griffin Conine at the plate. Hitting for Ruiz.
All 4 members of the bench here tonight for the Miami Marlins hit from the left side. They didn't start tonight because of Martin Perez.
I know you would have played against his dad, Jeff. Do you know him at all?
I don't know him personally. I don't know if I had any history against him either, but certainly a great player. Right? He is Mr. Marlin. It's always kind of cool. I mean, you got 30 shots at it, right? To be kind of the guy.
Yeah, he's the OG. He was there kind of at the beginning of that franchise when they started in '93. 8 seasons for Griffin's dad, Jeff, with the Marlins. And part of both Marlins World Series title teams in '97 and in 2003 as well. Well, son Griffin is going down on strikes to end the top of the 5th.
Braves leading 2-0. Jim Jarvis is leading off to begin the bottom of the 5th. And for Jim Jarvis, he had to make an adjustment to his pre-pitch routine defensively. Why are we talking about that when he's hitting? Well, Jim said it was because he's been running the bases a lot more often this year. He feels like this is his best offensive season he's had since his senior year of high school. And a big reason for that is the work he did with Johnny Washington, who's the Braves hitting coordinator, roving hitting coordinator. And it's a couple of changes, trying to feel a little more athletic in the box. But, you know, Jim felt like from the time he was at Alabama in college, it's just been an absolute fight for him at the plate as he drives this one in the air to center. But he finally feels like he's confident in his swing. And most importantly, he feels like he has a plan for success up there at the plate, guys. And I asked him, it must have been pretty tough if you didn't feel confident in your swing to get a hit. And he said, wow, it wasn't tough, it was impossible.
Yeah, confidence is everything in this game. That's a cool story because I think sometimes you hear names or people are unaware of what really goes on throughout an entire system with the team, and there's so many coaches, right? You obviously have your coaches in the big leagues, you have hitting coaches with you, you have those roving instructors, some special instructors, and there's real value in having a lot of these folks around because you just don't know who's going to say the one thing that clicks, right? A lot of guys can say something in a certain way, but it doesn't quite resonate, and then you have a conversation where it gets you in a really good place, clearly mentally, but then also physically for Jim Jarvis.
And then defensively, I mentioned he had to change his pre-pitch routine. He used to kind of do a modified pistol squat before every pitch, and then because he was running the bases so much more often this year, he felt like, oh, this is kind of getting in my legs a little bit. I can't be doing this before every pitch in the field. I got to be a little more conservative.
That's a lot of squatting going on.
1-2 here to Baldwin. In the outfield, Conine stays in the game. He is in right. Sanoa, who was in right, goes into center for Ruiz, by the way. Wiley, I have a serious question, though, not trying to be funny. You took on a lot of water during the rain delay, and one of the most miserable things I think on this earth is to sit in wet clothes for hours on end. Are you dried out yet?
Yeah, I'm dried out. Okay. The heavy stuff wasn't coming down for a while.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Caddyshack.
You just put them in the dryer in the clubhouse and just brace yourself. They're huge, those dryers, right? Just spin wildly around right in there.
Yeah, no, life size.
There's no way you're fully dry right now. I mean, you took on a lot of rain.
Well,
he looks dry.
This Peter Millar polo is wicks water well. Is that what they say? Quick wicking?
Yeah.
Is that,
that
is
works.
That right?
That works.
Yeah, no, I mean, this Peter Millar polo, of course I'm dry.
It's a company man. Ronald Acuna Jr., the 2-run homer in the third. Most of you, if you weren't watching it live, have probably seen it on social media. The collision in left center field between Hernandez and Ruiz that knocked the ball over the fence.
If nobody was out there, it would have been a double.
Off the bat, I thought it was going to go over the wall. I just didn't know it was going to go over the wall the way that it did. If you missed it.
Welcome back. This was wild to see. Thought it had a chance. We had talked about Ronald pretty frustrated with his first at bat. Was he going to be able to take it out in the next one? And you watch it like, it's probably not going to get there. Hernandez had been calling for it. Ruiz, the collision, and then up over the wall.
A pirouette and a throw, and a 1-2-3 bottom of the fifth. Hernandez and Ruiz were okay, and Wiley is also okay.
I'm not okay after seeing that.
Phillies game has already gone final. They defeated the Nats, so the Nats are really struggling right now. So the lead right now is at 8 games for Atlanta. Toyota Trends. How about the Braves against the East? 24-12 this year.
Yeah, most wins by divisional opponent by any team right now in Major League Baseball against your division. And we know certainly that the New York Mets are having a rough year. Marlins, the Braves have been great against. They've already won the season series, even though they're still going to go back to Miami to finish out the season, the very last series of the year. And then we caught the Phillies at the right time, right at the beginning. Those first 2 series, the Phillies are really struggling. Still 7 remaining against those Philadelphia Phillies for the Braves.
It's been a roller coaster for the Miami Marlins, who right now are a game over 500. But and we mentioned this the other night, CJ. June, they had their best month in franchise history, and you thought, whoa, these guys might have something going here. But then all of a sudden, a 12-game skid, and then they turned it around and won 6 of 7 before coming here to Atlanta and dropping the first 2 of this series.
And probably should be expected to some degree. It is a young team, so there will be some inconsistencies. A few more veterans that you have in the rotation, or guys at least that have done some things. As you take a look at that rank for the record in June, but since then, there's been some real struggles.
And not a whole lot of note for them at the deadline. Sending Liam Hicks out the door. They sent Braxton Garrett, pitcher, to the Cubs. Reliever Lake Bacher to the Pirates. The only thing they added was a bullpen piece in Victor Vodnik. A cutter from Maderos strikes out Navarreto.
As much as he told Wiley and talked about the confidence that he has in the fastball, the 2 strikeouts now here back to back. The first one on the changeup, this one now with a cutter. It is a big cutter. It really does act more like a slider when you see that kind of horizontal movement on it. He's using those secondaries pretty well here so far tonight to finish off these Marlins hitters.
This is going to be a lost challenge.
Close. That changeup, I think a little bit of run probably just took it off the plate.
Calls confirm the pitch is the ball. Atlanta has one challenge remaining.
Drake's been good back there. 65% success rate for him when it comes to challenging with ABS. Catchers league wide are at 59%, so 6% better.
Jarvis, 2 down. So Medeiros walked the first guy he faced. Now he's retired 5 in a row. Danny Young for the second time is up throwing.
So I think he's probably up right now in case there are any left-handed hitting pinch hitters, right? You got a couple of righties unless you want to turn Edwards around, but two righties here. I would think at least 4 Medeiros that he would face again, unless you see a pinch hitter.
You know what I'm excited for, CJ?
What's that?
That peanut butter and jelly on the flight.
You are?
Yeah.
You're going to have that at midnight?
Yeah. I think I'm going to crush 2 of them.
I've had too many snacks tonight. Not going to happen.
I have 2, but I'm going all in. I'm on tilt after the rain delay.
Yeah, that's the issue. I will say it's been a fun little game you and I have gotten to play with the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, because wherever we are is where they're made by kind of local catering that takes care of the airplane. And it's kind of a rating game where it turns into like, how good is this PB&J? And a lot of times, and I don't know how God built this way, but we put it in our hands. We already have a pretty good idea where it's going to go.
You can tell.
It's the weight. You can almost feel when the bread might be a little bit stale, when the ratio to peanut butter and jelly might be off. It's a real thing.
The one out of JFK, the last road trip. That's the leader in the clubhouse for me right now in the season. So we'll see what happens.
That's the leader right now. Of all places, who knew?
See what happens tonight.
New York with the PB&J.
We're looking at you, Atlanta Catering, down at Hartsfield.
Now, in their defense, they'll be like, hey, these were going to be good like 2 hours ago when we expect you guys to be here. I'm going to assume that what Wiley just texted us was an absolute lie.
Yeah, he said one of the flight attendants just texted saying no PBJ tonight. That's a lie. Payoff pitch. Drilled, but also foul.
It has been pretty consistent too, right? Where it's usually a wheat bread.
Yes.
And has been sometimes a 5 grain in there.
Which I don't get as caught up in that. It's just as long as it's not stale and the need that peanut butter jelly ratio to be right.
I used to believe that it had to be the soft white bread to make a great PB&J, but that's not true. Just quality of bread in general.
Struck him out. 97. Couple of strong innings for Medeiros. Augusta, Georgia, 101 today. Been a devoted Braves fan since the Braves moved to Atlanta in 1966. You can do the math. She was born in 1925 in Alabama. And she's lived through a lot, but still going at 101.
Yeah, happy birthday, Elaine. No doubt in my mind that is a woman who makes a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Would not mess around with strawberry. What a disappointing conversation we just had in the break. Christian said strawberry only. Oh, let's go.
Is that going to stay fair? No, it's going right to the pole.
I don't dislike strawberry jelly, but not only.
No, I love blackberry jelly,
Yeah.
which I think you don't hear often about blackberry jelly.
And only crunchy peanut butter, which is pretty elitist.
I do both.
Yeah, but to say only?
Yeah, that's a strong opinion to have.
I'm a pretty big only strawberry guy.
Oh, of course.
But to be honest with you, it's actually not even that I love strawberry. It's just I'm very firmly anti-grape.
Okay.
Whoa. Oh, my bad.
Okay, well,
So raspberry, cool with that. You know, no issues.
do you like grapes?
Green grapes? I love green grapes. CJ
Yeah.
got
We
those like
tried.
weekly in spring training.
We tried. They were not. What were they
Yeah.
called? Those cotton
Cotton
ones?
candy.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah.
grapes have a season.
Didn't know that. So
It's not-
you don't like red grapes, Wiley?
I mean, I'm not anti-red grapes, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I prefer green.
Okay.
What if they're liquefied and fermented?
I can't even picture what that. You tell like grape juice?
No, just wine.
Wine.
Yeah, let's go.
Dude, Olsen. Oh, Wiley's just used to turning water into wine.
That's right.
He doesn't need grapes.
There's no way they had peanut butter and jelly at Westminster. No chance. Turkey with Grey Poupon.
High, deep. Does it have enough? You bet it does. Matty O has left the building. Boy, to hit it that high and get it out to center, you have to hit it pretty well, and he did.
He had to go down and get it, too. This is a left-on-left changeup, but Matt Olson knew it when he got it. We weren't quite so sure, but that's the feeling of a good hitter and a guy who's done it many times over the course of his career, and he got a big bounce there up above Chattahoochee Falls.
32nd homer of the season and RBI number 70 now on the year for Olson. And Harris with a healthy hack. That'll bounce against the chop house wall. Stand up double.
Good swings here left on left in this inning right now for the Atlanta Braves against John King, who came in with just a 208 batting average against lefties. This breaking ball sweeper supposed to be away. It finished right on the inside corner, and Michael able to turn on it for that easy double. They absolutely love doing that celebration.
Again, hat tip to Nixon Garneau, catching Coach Dustin Garneau's son, who did that in his Little League game, but now the guys have adopted it. Well, after the homer and a double, a quick visit to the mound from the catcher Navarreto. And that gives us a chance to take a look at our Zaxby's. Who's got the sauce? Michael does against the Marlins.
You are scratching me where I itch right there. 50 games, a nice round number. 350, a nice round number. 1,000 OPS. I wish it was 35 runs would be really nice. That would make it look good. But either way, very impressive for Michael.
See if Dubon can keep the good times rolling. It gets by a diving Stowers. Harris will be held at third with nobody out. Dubon has reached all 3 times, 2 hits and a walk.
And Walt was talking about how good he is at this, which is plugging the right side when they give him room. Curveball here that finished down below the zone and just out of the reach over there at first base for Stowers. But it's another pitch again. Matt Olson hit a home run on a pitch that was below the zone. Now here goes Mauricio Dubon on a low pitch.
And we're going to get a pinch hitter. Lane Thomas now for Yastrzemski.
By the way, guys, we got Boot, Scoot, and Boogie going right now. This was indeed the walk-up song chosen by Lane Thomas. He used it at Kansas City, and he said he chose it because it puts him in a good mood.
It's hard to be in a bad mood after hearing that song.
He's got a chance to add to this Braves lead here, put himself in a better mood. And there is the first hit as a Brave for Lane Thomas. And it's going to produce a run. It's an RBI double.
Good veteran hitters, when they pinch hit, are not going to let you just get a first pitch, get me over slider for a first strike one. And Lane Thomas saw this ball right out of the hand of John King. Look how quiet the hands are, no stride there, quick to the baseball, and he laces it down the left field line.
That is 4 hits for the Braves over a 6-pitch span. So it has been quick. There's still nobody out. And you've got runners at second and third. And Ozzie Albies, who tonight was not in the lineup for the first time all year, is now into this game in the 6th inning. Infield drawn in.
So Ozzie has not had a pinch hit at bat, not surprising with how often he plays, since 2022. He had 1 that year. He had 1 in 20. He's only got 9 pinch hit plate appearances in his entire career. But he's 4 for 8. It's an even 500.
He hasn't gotten anything to hit yet.
And that is a long time. It's been 4 years since he has pinch hit.
Boy, King is having all sorts of issues. See the frustration for Clayton McCullough. Still nobody out. And back into the pen for Miami. A 4-0, and the Braves with a golden opportunity to add to that. Bases loaded. There's still nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. So Clayton McCullough is turning to Vodnik, one of their new acquisitions at the deadline, to try to put out the fire.
This will be a 2nd game now with the Miami Marlins. Big time fastball, sits at 99 miles an hour, but it has had issues. 368 batting average, 874 OPS. There's also a slider, changeup, and cutter in the mix.
Austin Riley fouls back the first pitch at 97. Braves got 2 in the 3rd on the Acuna homer. 2 more here in the 6th and counting. Vodnik 1-1. Liner to center. Dubon tags. The throw from Sanoa is cut off. 5-0.
That's a good productive at bat from Austin Riley, who was very frustrated with the strikeout that he had with a runner at third base in his last at bat back in the 4th inning. Got enough of that slider to drive the run in.
Now the infield can scoot back here. Jarvis, grounder to second. There's one. Jarvis able to beat it out. So they'll be at the corners. Braves 3 runs here in this inning, and that's the total amount of runs the Marlins have scored in this entire series. That's how good the Braves pitching has been. As the Braves look for a sweep tonight. Baldwin. Ground ball again to the second baseman. Oh! And an error that lets another run come home. Edwards booted it.
He wanted to go the short way, and that's because the ball was taking him that way, but he had an issue on the exchange and then tried to rush it and just never had a good grip on the baseball. And even if that throw was in a good spot, I don't think it would have mattered at that point with Jim Jarvis running and hustling the entire way.
That's kind of how it's been going for the Marlins here in Atlanta. One ball, one strike to Ronald Acuna Jr. We talk so much about how good the Braves defense has been this year, but the rest of the NL East really has not defended well. Nats and Mets are 1-2 as far as team errors, and the Marlins aren't too far behind, 6th as far as most errors in baseball. And that number's going up tonight. (3-1) pitch. Acuna hits it well, but not well enough to get past Sanoa. What an adventure. The Braves get 4 and they open it up. Jackson bobblehead night. Atlanta Braves baseball presented by Truist, and it is all Bravos. He came ready to play tonight, folks. Is he by himself? I think he is. He's got the fan going.
I mean, that's all the way in. With zero hesitation, all the way in on that one. And good to see Danny Young now here with an opportunity after a big 4-run bottom of the 6th inning. Walt pushing all the right buttons with Thomas as a pinch hitter, and then Ozzie with the pinch hit walk.
Lane Thomas stays in out at left. And so far the bullpen's solid after a great 3 innings from Perez before the rain delay. Kinley looked good in the 4th, and then 2 really strong innings from Victor Medeiros.
He got better as he went along, did Medeiros tonight, and the timing was good.
Two balls and 2 strikes here. 3-4-5 in the order for the Marlins. Sweeper.
That's a big one for Danny Young again. After the Braves score 4, you get a full count. The command, I think he's still working his way back a little bit from Tommy John surgery. A lot of times, like, we haven't probably brought that up enough for him, right? Coming back from the surgery, we say it all the time, thinking about A.J. Smith-Shawver and starting pitchers, that the command sometimes can take a little while, and you get 3-2 after scoring a bunch. You want to make sure you don't walk the leadoff hitter, so good pitch there.
It was 433 days that he went in between big league outings, having that Tommy John surgery May of 2025, and then getting the opportunity in July here this season with Atlanta. A walk and a line out so far for Edwards. After a couple more outs, we'll send you out to the battery. Nick and Peter will bring you the stretch presented by Resurgence Orthopedics.
That's why everybody hung around for Cracker Jack.
How'd you know? One of these games we're going to have to bring peanut butter and jellies made with your sourdough bread.
Well, so you think sourdough's a good PB&J? That's
you would know
that's
more
a little
than
fancy.
Me.
I just feel like the softer, not necessarily the highest quality, just the softer the better.
Okay.
When it comes to PB&J.
All right. Gretchen says she's out. I'm in. Value in.
I mean, if it's
Val's
fresh, yeah. A little smaller, tighter crumb is what you want in that situation. You don't want it too spaced out, right? Then your chunks of jelly start falling in the divots.
That's tough.
That's a tough bite.
Yeah. Another full count. That one, though, just missed. A message right here from Chevrolet.
Get into a 2026 Chevy Trax, starting at $23,495. Proud partner of the Atlanta Braves.
Leo Jimenez now at the plate. And there's the second Marlins hit of the ball game. 2 on 1 out.
It's that two-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour, and probably wants it a little bit lower there for Danny Young. He usually can generate some pretty good ground balls with that two-seam fastball throwing from the lower arm angle. I think the other part of that, though, right, it's a walk in a 6-0 game, so you come back to the fat part of the strike zone, and you got a guy like Jimenez who was ready for it.
A strike to start the at-bat with Kyle Stowers. He has taken over as Miami's first baseman. They had a lack of production there. They signed Christopher Morel, but they released him after 22 games, and Stowers comes back from injury. They put him there, and he's kind of become the guy. Came over from the Orioles at the 24 deadline, did Kyle Stowers.
So this is year 2, right, for Clayton McCullough?
Yes.
Keep showing those pictures. I mean, it's been a grind, right? He looks like he may have aged 6 or 7 years, and that's the reality of managing. These guys pour everything they have into it, and it can be really stressful, even if expectations are somewhat low. Everybody's out there always trying to win.
Thomas's first chance in the field tonight. He's got it. Yeah, they were 79 and 83 last year in his first season, and right now just a game over 500.
I think especially when they had that kind of sniff when they were playing well that you were talking about, then it was that really long losing streak. There's no doubt there were some sleepless nights there for Clayton McCullough.
Was in the Dodgers organization the decade prior to getting that managing opportunity. No surprise, lowest payroll in baseball. You hear that a lot with the Marlins, right around 80 million. And you compare that to a team like the Braves, who's 9th in payroll with over 250 million. And that is a big difference.
Yeah, they've done a good job, though, putting some pitching staffs together, especially on the starting side. And there'll be a lot of speculation about Alcantara and whether or not he'll be traded this offseason. I believe there's one more year with a player option at right around $20 or $21 million. I shouldn't say player option. It'll be a team option. Yeah, $21 million club option on him, which they certainly will exercise.
Runners will not advance.
When you talk about that low of a payroll, though, right, coming in right around $75 million, and he's going to make $21 million, it'd be a really good return.
Braves not seeing him in this series. Harris will take it off the bounce. They're going to wave him. And the Marlins are on the board here in the 7th inning.
Two-seam fastball here that is elevated. Line drive to center field. And for Michael, the rain has fallen. He's got to be a little bit careful with the big lead. He can't charge this too hard. So he has to play it back on the high hop. And that gave a little bit more time for Edwards, who runs well as it is, to be able to score.
Dylan Lee is up, and he's going to start to throw as Jeremy Hefner pays a visit.
So Griffin Conine coming up, and I told you I don't really remember any history, and maybe it's just selective forgettiveness, if you will, because Jeff Conine took me deep. As I learned, I don't remember anything about it, but 3 for 8 with a homer, walk, punch out.
So you don't know where the game was? You
I know it was 1999 because I could see it by year, but so I was pitching for the Tigers. I'm assuming, was he in Miami that year? Still 99? I guess I could go look that up, but no, I have zero recollection. You got to forget those kind of things. Oh, he was in Baltimore.
Okay. That's all right. He just blocked that out. Never happened.
Did you see that story the other day where he missed his son hitting a walk-off?
His son here is going to drive in a run and make this game a little more interesting. So back-to-back RBI hits. First Sanoa, now Conine, 6-2.
Hit this ball hard, two-seam fastball at 95 miles an hour. Excuse me, 94 miles an hour, and then 103. He squared it up pretty good. And I believe Griffin Conine had, there was a lengthy game, and Jeff left. His dad left. He was there, but he left, and then his son ended up hitting a walk-off. He missed it.
Hopefully he had gotten home, at least was able to watch it on TV.
I think he was back at the game the next day, and he hit a homer, so we got to see that part live.
Conine at first. You got Sanoa over at third. Navarreto at the plate. You see the numbers at the bottom. Just not a lot of time for Navarreto. He's 31, but he's only played in 19 big league games over parts of 3 seasons with the Marlins. He gets hit. The sweeper got him pretty good around the knee. He's in some pain.
This pitch kept going and going here, and you're going to see a catch right on the side there, no doubt. Said it by the reaction. That was significant pain. And when you haven't played a lot, you mentioned where he is at this point in his career, you never want to come out of a game. He's going to try to power through it.
So with the tying run coming to the plate, it will be Dylan Lee out of the pen. Welcome back to Truist. The vibes are good, and we're hoping they stay that way. 6-2, but the Marlins now bringing the tying run to the plate. So Walt Weiss says, all right, let's get Dylan Lee in here and try to put out the fire.
At number 52 with an even 52 innings so far pitched this year. That slider's been great. The 4-seam fastball, the changeup, all of it. And you can see the splits, right? Neutral there for Dylan Lee. Had not mattered if it's been a lefty or a righty. Strikeout rate very good against Baltimore.
Good hitter at the plate in Otto Lopez, who, as we mentioned yesterday, he leads baseball with 142 hits this season. Lee is going to try to prevent number 143. And it It looks like he is going to do it. Harris is in. He's got it. Lee does his job, and it's 6-2 as we go to the stretch.
Welcome to the stretch presented by Resurgence Orthopedics. From the field to everyday life, movement matters. Resurgence Orthopedics is here to help you stay strong, stay active, and stay in motion.
Welcome to the stretch presented by Resurgence Orthopedics. Nick Green and Peter Moylan here with you. Peter, the starting pitching for the Braves has been a topic of discussion for quite a while now. Over the last 8 games or so, it's been really good. And we've seen some really good starts in this series as well.
We sure have, and it's about time we gave this rotation some flowers. It all started with Grant Holmes, who came out a different guy from the outset. A couple of different pitch mixes that he was working with. That curveball was really good. Mixed in a changeup for the first time. There must be something in the scouting report that says something about a changeup, because Elder went to it a lot of times as well, and he was even more dominant. We saw Grant pitch into the 7th. Bryce was able to get himself through 7, and then Martin, had it not been for rain, picked up exactly where he left off last time. 3 innings, just the walk, but hey, it wasn't his fault he couldn't get through. It wasn't his fault his rain, so he deserves his flowers as well.
They all do. You can take a look at the starters in this series. 1 earned in 16 innings of work, only 6 hits allowed. The opponent's OPS, that's minuscule. Over the last 8 starts, the starting pitchers have an ERA of just 1.44 as they currently lead 6-2 in the bottom of the 7th here at Truist Park. Let's get you back out to Braves baseball after a quick word from our friends at Resurgence Orthopedics.
Before the injury, I was incredibly active. Mainly had been running in preparation for the half marathon. I felt really comfortable and confident in my treatment plan from Resurgence because the treatment plan was designed specifically for me. I was able to run the half marathon. That was really special.
Oh, we were tossing out the Cracker Jack, and we love that. But we might love even more what is happening up here right now. We have, from our guy Jose, some gourmet Braves-made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Let's talk about what matters right now. So I know you definitely don't like it. The ratio looks, it may be slightly off. There's a lot of jelly on there.
There's quite a bit of jelly, but I'm pretty good. I would have covered this edge here with the peanut butter a little.
That part, it better not get on your computer. Jose's going to be in really big trouble, even though it wasn't his fault. The bread does look pretty good. Now, I feel like you like your bread like spread, or your jelly spread pretty evenly.
You're getting a little picky right now.
Yeah, I know. There's something's going on in there.
I just appreciate Jose's kindness.
Yeah, I need, Val, can you hand me a plastic knife? So what I also think is kind of fancy and elitist when you go triangle cut.
Oh, yeah.
Across.
You're not going to do that? Or
I am. Because I felt like you get a nice corner when you do the triangle cut, which is a nice bite, right? Where I felt like all my sandwiches as a kid were cut right down the middle.
Yeah, that's what my mom did.
Yeah, so now I do all of them this way.
Wiley, there's one up here for you,
I was going to say, it looked like you guys had 3.
That's right.
We do. You better hurry.
Whoa, whoa.
Thank you, Jose.
I thought you might bring that down.
No. We don't deliver. This is an Uber Eats. Wow, that's good. Val, do we have any milk? 2% organic?
You think that is, that's grape, right? That's straight grape jelly?
Oh, Wiley's grape jelly. So Wiley's out.
He's not touching that.
3-2 here to Olsen.
Sorry, I'll get some on the plane.
I'm going to have some there with you, too.
And Gretchen would not touch this. It is grape jelly and it is creamy peanut butter.
Sorry, Gretchen. Payoff pitch. Maddie's had another great night with a double in the homer, surpassing Yordan Alvarez for the most extra base hits in Major League Baseball.
Wait a minute. I got an update here from the booth. This is not grape jelly. This is wild blueberry preserves. That does sound like something Wiley would have.
Ooh.
Right?
Let me see that now. Oh, yeah, I see this brand all the time. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm in for it.
Wild. Now, I will tell you, I'm a little thrown off because it's wild blueberry preserves, but it's got a strawberry top.
Well.
So, I'm not I'm probably going to throw this out, actually.
He's coming.
And when I say throw it out, like I mean into the crowd, like we just do the Cracker Jack, I don't want to look at this anymore.
The ways that you get offended, Christopher John.
Didn't take much.
Wiley looks like Bigfoot roaming through the crowd there.
Tell Wiley to grab some milk on the way.
Wiley, grab some milk.
You're out of AA batteries.
I don't think they sell milk at a baseball park.
They do now.
Do they?
Yep.
Where?
Section 311.
311?
Yep.
I'm on it.
Brought to you by America's Dairy Farmers.
That is the biggest thing of peanut butter I've ever seen. That, by the way, they weighed these sandwiches. What is that, a gallon?
This, whoa. 1-2 here to Harris. Fouled away. Look at this.
How many ounces is that? 32 at least?
Take down an elephant. I don't know. Where do you find the ounces on it? Oh, yeah. 64 ounces.
Wow.
4-pounder.
That's nice.
Whew.
Well, here's what we could do for Gretchen is we have bags of peanuts, chop them up, throw them into the peanut butter,
there
and
you
then
go.
Get your crunchy.
Boy, Harris toward the gap. This ball is struck well. It gets down. Tommy's waving at Matty. Harris is going for third. It is an RBI triple for Michael Harris.
We know this. Michael loves the PB&Js as much as we do, and he goes down and he gets the slider here, and he backspun this thing really well. It just continued to carry one hop there on the wall, and then a little bit of an issue here in center field for Sano as far as getting it in quickly, which allowed Matt Olson to come all the way around from first base to score.
Even the celebration while sitting down. Well, what production from Olson and Harris between them. 4 extra base hits. Now Atlanta up 7-2. The infield in here for the Marlins with Dubon at the plate. Tell you what, these are turning into rally PBJs now. Right. Up the middle. RBI hit for Dubon. 8-2.
About Mauricio tonight, first start of the season as a Brave over at second base, and it's 3 hits and a walk. All singles for him as he gets the 4-seam fastball at 98. Talk a lot about his ability to get to velocity, and that's elevated there with 1 strike and short to the baseball for that RBI single.
Yeah, you said it. What a productive night for Dubon and really all of the Braves.
What's nice is to get those 2 runs back, right? You had good control of this game. It was 6-0. A couple of runs come across the board in the top of the 7th, and the Braves have already answered without an out here in the bottom of the 7th.
And Lane Thomas, RBI double last inning when the Braves sent 9 to the plate and scored 4. We were talking the other day with the Nationals broadcasters. They really like Lane Thomas when he was in D.C.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a player, but then also as a person. And this is kind of how it works. Like we have these, conversations casually with the people that we know, but that's the kind of background work that goes into acquiring players, whether it's via free agency, trades, talking to different folks, and trying to get a feel for who each player is. And Lane Thomas highly respected when he was with the Nats.
Strikes out there on the changeup. Watch Matt Olson. Matty Wheels going first to home. It's our Whataburger, what a play.
And never slowing down, does a good job there picking up Tommy Watkins, who sensed that opportunity for him to score. And then Ozzie wants to make sure that the heart rate is okay. How's that pulse? And Olson, of course, now is the only Brave to start every game with Ozzie not starting, even though he got in this one tonight. There have only been a handful of players this year, I think it was 6, that have started in each of their team's games.
Chopper to first. They're not going to get 2, even though Vodnik tried.
Rafael Devers, Cole Young, Pete Crow Armstrong, Pete Alonso, Junior Caminero, and Matt Olson. So the only ones that have started in 100% of their team games.
And Sunday in New York, it would be Matt Olson's 900th consecutive game played. Riley with 2 outs. Stowers has it. But a productive 7th for the Braves, getting those 2 runs back.
Where's Wiley? Looking for a cow?
$100.
You're watching Braves Vision, powered by Southern Company. Braves trying to make it 8 wins in a row, and they're up 8-2. And one of the new Braves is out there for the first time, Brent Suter.
Yeah, you're going to get to know this lefty. That's what he did with the Angels, and a guy that has been used in a multi-inning role this year. Now, he does not throw particularly hard, but what he does do well is he keeps the baseball on the ground. He's very good at inducing weak exit velocity. I mean, he's keeping the baseball off the barrel. That ground ball rate at nearly 50% over his 63 1/3 innings with the Angels this season.
Was in his first season with the Angels, last couple of years with the Reds. His first 7 years in the bigs were with the Brewers. So he's been around a long time. He's going to turn 37 in a couple of weeks, and now his first appearance as a Brave.
The interview the day that he got here, we certainly showed it on Braves Vision. We showed it during the rain delay as well. Very high energy, very excited to be a member of the Atlanta Braves and this organization, the reputation that it has. He lived in Georgia, what did he say, for about 4 years?
Yeah, and when he lived here,
World Series game, right? He said 95.
95, when he was 6 years old, and he was going to go to Parkview High School, where Jeff Francoeur and of course Matt Olson went, but then family moved to Cincinnati, and he puts on that Braves uniform. First batter he faces, he strikes out.
Thing of beauty right here, 88-mile-an-hour fastball, but elevated up above the zone to get Hernandez chasing.
And now he pumps in a strike to Ramirez. But Braves country, you will get to see his personality. CJ mentioned it's a big one, and it's a good one. He does a lot of impressions. He is a funny guy. Saw him dancing in the clubhouse in Cincinnati. He's just kind of the life of the party.
He does a really good Matt Foley. I believe we did a full hour with him on radio. We have Players Week where guys come in for the full hour. And he was an absolute treat. Then I got into kind of talking about him. It was at the Reds kind of winter warm-up event that he'd done that at Matt Foley. And if you're going to do something like that, like, you really have to be all the way in. And he was all the way in and then some.
Great Chris Farley sketch from SNL back in the day.
He is 100% left-handed.
Oh, he almost got that changeup in there. So he just missed up, and then he just missed down, and he walks Ramirez. A message here from Audi.
The Audi Q3, made for a life of yes.
I just can't wait for us to show Wiley milking a cow right now, because he couldn't find any actual milk, so he had to go make his own.
I'm starting to think that he aborted his mission coming up here to get that third PB&J, which means it's soon going to become my second PB&J. So a strikeout and a pickoff already for Suter as a Brave.
That's the thing of beauty right there. Get the punch out, the walk, which you didn't want, and now picking off a runner who was leaning in a situation where he shouldn't be. Right now, with the lead that the Atlanta Braves have, you are not trying to be over aggressive on the base paths. How about this? That is the 22nd pickoff in the career of Brent Suter, and it is our Allstate Good Hands replay.
Some deception in that move over to first.
That's a big number. Think about for a reliever too. Now, he does have some starts. Most of those starts were as an opener, 50 starts over the course of his career, but that might be pretty close to a leader over the time that he has been in the big leagues.
And now he's got Edwards at 1-2. Just past Matt Olson inside the chalk, and this is going to be extra bases for Edwards with 2 outs.
It's four-seamer here at 90, actually a sinker, so you're looking for some of that movement working away, and just a good piece of hitting by a really good hitter in Edwards. All right, so 22 pickoffs since now, counting that one tonight, since he first broke into the league in 2016, and is tied for the 6th most. We'll see the guy tomorrow who has the most, in Max Fried with 36.
Yeah, Braves facing a familiar face at Fried tomorrow. As we mentioned, Tyler Mahle will make his Braves debut in the Bronx for game 1 of that series. One-two. Ronald Acuna has his eyes on it. He's got his glove on it. Welcome back to Georgia, Brent Suter.
Your worst.
8-2, bottom of the 8th. 9-1-2 for Atlanta here. Cade Gibson is the new pitcher, the lefty, as he deals to Jarvis. Oh, he made it.
Did he? Does that count?
He brought half and half creamers.
That's the best I can do. That is a really nice triangle, CJ.
Thank you.
All right. Do you want to get in on this?
I was told that's actually called the sailboat. Has anybody used that phrase before?
I've never heard that.
Same.
Isosceles.
Right.
Is
no,
it?
it's
I wish
not
it was.
actually. No.
I wish it was isosceles.
Be
a
cool.
great name for a kid.
Is that Kramer? Is that what that is? Yeah. Okay.
Get in there.
This is.
You look
outside.
intimidated.
It's a lot of jelly.
Relax.
Get your good corner.
Savoring the moment.
There you go.
He is just like everybody
Do you need
else.
some half and half?
This is like good for you, right? This is nutritious.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's
I don't
nothing
want any
bad
of that half
about
and half.
that.
Fruit.
It's all you don't want any of this?
All right. I'll down a shot.
That's Birdie's move.
Here, let's do a shot of this together, Wiley.
It's like those crickets.
I mean, yes, I used to do this, but I was like 7.
All right, this is going to be. We're all going to take a bite, and then we're going to shoot this together.
That's how they party at Georgia Tech.
You got a lime ready?
Act like you're at Johnny's and it's a lemon drop here. Okay.
Ready?
All right, to win in the season series against the Marlins and getting in at 4 a.m. New York City tonight. It's not bad, right? You wouldn't even know. If I didn't tell you, you wouldn't know.
Oh, that's great. I feel like we've grown up a little bit tonight, guys.
I feel like we've taken a couple steps backwards, actually.
Well, that's another way to put it. But we've done it together. And life is all about shared experiences.
Wiley's locked in.
Wiley, it seems like this is the first time you've ever had a peanut butter and jelly.
That is. I don't know if you've ever said anything further from the truth.
Well,
Okay.
I know because I've seen you eat them on the plane, but right now you look mesmerized.
There's nothing wrong in enjoying your work.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Who was in here the other day asking us about how we ever toasted an Uncrustable? Is that Franny? Did you bring that up, Kevin Francis? Somebody was in here.
Oh, it was.
I was like, well, that is a good
Nationals
idea.
analyst, yes. Yeah, he says he puts them in his
The whole
toaster.
thing.
Huh? One-two here to Drake Baldwin. Bye, Wiley. Yeah, I'll take your bag. I got it. I got to take Wiley's bag to the airport. I could do something fun and leave it here and act like I forgot it.
Or just replace a few things.
Yeah. In on the hands. Braves, by the way, if they hang on and win here, they would go undefeated in this homestand. They'd go 7-0, the 4 against the Nats, the 3 against the Marlins. The Braves have not had an undefeated homestand of 7 or more games since 2013, which is a little bit surprising with all the success they've had here at Truist. A couple of grounders to Edwards here in the bottom of the 8th.
It goes back to something we talk about a lot. Sweeping a series against any big league team is difficult. A 4-game series, even more so, right, in the way that they did it against the Washington Nationals. So in order to get to a 7-game series in a homestand, there's going to be a 4-game series in there, and that is challenging. But the Braves have a real shot right now.
Gretchen reminding me that 2013 season at Turner Field, they put in a Waffle House during that homestand, and that's what. So that helped the Braves win all those games. Deep to right here. Did it get out of here? It did. It's another one for Acuna. This one he did all by himself.
The 16th time in the career of Ronald Acuna Jr. where he's had multiple home runs in a game. This is a 92-mile-an-hour two-seam fastball that he stays inside of beautifully. Just squeaking it there right down the right field line and bouncing into the chop house. Oh, look out.
I'm going to guess it's the most interesting multi-home run game of Ronald Acuna Jr.'s career.
We did have one earlier this year when we were in Cincinnati against the Reds. But yes, where he got a little bit of help from some new friends.
And then one right off the top of the wall here in the 8th inning to make it 9-2. Matt Olson trying to add on to his big night. A double, a homer, and a couple of walks for Matt Olson. Ooh, might have been a little animosity there in that chase for a foul ball. Another souvenir. One ball, 2 strikes. Olson, liner to center.
Oh,
that's dropped. Sanoa just simply misplayed it. The wheels are coming off for the Fish.
so this ball is stung 109 miles an hour. It's got some spin on it. Sanoa did not have a good read. It looked like he came in a couple of steps and then it continued to carry. He thought he had a beat on it. Again, not a big guy. Likely going down as an error on the misread, but you'd love to see Matt Olson get a double here. Now he's out all 5 times regardless, but a couple of doubles and a homer would make for a great night along with those 2 walks. Yeah, they've already called it an error. 3rd of the night for the Marlins.
And this is going to drive in the 10th run of the game. Michael Harris, a double in the 6th, a triple in the 7th, and now an RBI single in the 8th. Tell
you what, he stayed in on this sweeper very nicely here, left on left for Michael. fastball is going to start pretty much right at him or even behind him and finish down and away. Talked a lot about what he did yesterday, driving the baseball the other way. He is just doing an excellent job of letting the baseball travel, not getting too pull happy. It's hard to stay back on that pitch, but he did it just enough.
And they're doing the Nixon.
And he's 0 for 2 going into the 6th inning. And now he's got 3 hits in 3 straight innings.
And a homer away from the cycle. Pitching change.
I think Sanoa's coming in to pitch.
Yep, he is. So, position player pitching alert here in the bottom of the 8th. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a moment. And we're back. Sanoa coming from center field, and you can tell he's upset with himself about that error. And now he's going to try to get the final out here in the 8th as the pitcher.
Yeah, this might be some record territory here, thinking about a position player making an error with 2 outs and then finishing the inning on the mound. Probably hasn't happened too often in our game's history. And this is his 12th appearance on the mound. That also might be some record territory for a position player.
It is starting to rain again.
Sweet.
It's the only thing that we don't like right now, but it's light. Right center. And that is going to bounce up against the wall. Michael Harris is going to be waved home. Dubon with an RBI double. How about this? Harris and Dubon have hits in 3 straight innings. Both of them. You just don't see that very often. And for Dubon, it's now a 4-hit game.
And obviously it is a position player pitching, but he still doesn't get pull happy. Right? It's 61 miles an hour, and a lot of times guys are going to start taking those softball swings and trying to launch, and he still goes the other way.
And I wonder when the last time 2 players in the same lineup had hits in back-to-back-to-back innings. Sure, it's happened a fair amount, but it can't happen very often. Pretty deep out to center, but this one's going to stay in the park. It is all Braves going to the 9th. Acuna with another one.
Second homer of the night, this time to the opposite field, and an impressive one for Ronald, and the Braves now up by 9.
Nine-run lead as we start inning number 9. Let's take a look at our Car Shield play of the game. And how about in this 8-game stretch where the Braves are about to make it 8 straight wins, some incredible numbers.
Yeah, and I think maybe one of the more important ones, the innings per start. Now that number goes down because of the rain delay, and Martin Perez only gets to throw 3, but he was rolling, had not allowed a hit. It felt like it was going to be another at least 6-inning outing for Martin Perez, but that has been one of the questions that has been surrounding this team, and these guys have answered the bell.
The slider is lined to right by Stowers. Acuna throwing it in, an incredible throw, but he's not going to get Stowers. It's a double.
This is the slider from Suter here, and that one stayed near the top of the strike, so I don't think where he wanted it. It's always fun to watch Ronald show off that great arm. He made that play. Not that it was close, but you were paying attention. Closer than Stowers probably anticipated.
Now Sanoa, he's had a little bit of everything. He has an RBI single tonight. He had the air in center, and then he came in and pitched and got the final out in the bottom of the 8th. This rain is picking up a little. It's got me a little nervous. Had an hour and 23-minute rain delay earlier tonight. Marlins never led in this series. It has really been controlled by the Braves since Tuesday night. Sanoa with another RBI hit here, as it's going to be back-to-back doubles for the Marlins.
Four-seam fastball, 88 here, top of the zone. Just a good piece of hitting by Sanoa. Nice level swing here. That is how you attack the elevated fastball.
Griffin Conine comes up swinging. Harris gets there. Covered a lot of ground for the first out.
I do think the one thing for Brent Suter, an opportunity to have some better numbers than what he had in Los Angeles, because he is a contact pitcher. The defense that he gets behind him here with the Atlanta Braves is going to be much better than what he saw in Los Angeles. And so some of these balls will not be hits the way they were when he had that Angels uniform on.
And not only is he a funny guy, he is a smart guy. He went to Harvard before being a 31st round pick, a long shot back in 2012 by the Brewers after his career there in Boston at Harvard. He gets ahead of Navarreto here, 0-2. Another chance for Harris. Another one where he has to go a long way. And another one where he makes a catch. And the Braves are 1 out away from becoming the second team in baseball to reach 70 wins. The Brewers at 72 and Atlanta knocking on the door of 70. But the ball game continues, at least for one more hitter. They'll stop the runner at third, so they are at the corners. This will get into the seats.
The thing about with Suter too as well as you kind of get to know him a little bit again. Not a lot of strikeouts, but respectable strikeout rate, and he spreads it out. It's 4 pitches, and he's got at least 10 punch outs on all 4 of those pitches.
Grounder here to Riley. This should do it. 8 straight for Atlanta.
What a night it was here for the Atlanta Braves. Unfortunately, the rain delay slowed down Martin Perez, but he looked good. But maybe most importantly, a couple of home runs tonight from Ronald Acuna Jr. Seems like his swing is starting to get right. Matt Olson had another one, and just a comfortable big blowout win here at a time where that bullpen now gets rested for what will be a tough series headed into the Bronx against the Yankees.
We will be back with more thoughts in just a moment.